What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Calvary Cemetery here in St. Louis, Missouri. As you notice, I'm not outside. It's not because it's cold. Obviously, I don't mind the cold. It's just extremely windy. I use a lav mic sometimes, use an external mic sometimes, but there's only so much you can do about wind without catching a bit of it, and it is extremely windy outside here in St. Louis. So I'm just gonna do the intro of my car that we're gonna get out, and there's two locations we're going to in this video. Well, technically three, but two. And this is kind of in reverse because this is the final resting place of the person I'm visiting, and the person I'm visiting has no name. She's a little girl. She was taken from us in a very violent and horrific way, and we're gonna get out and we're gonna take a look at this marker because I believe I found it. It's very, very difficult online. The information to find her final resting place is not correct, and this is what I've been looking for. Okay, let's go. So online, it will take you to, if you're looking for the location of little Jane Doe, the St. Louis Jane Doe, Hope, Precious Hope. She's a few different names. She's unidentified. It'll take you to section 23, but it's actually 1PC, which is further in the back. And we're here at the Garden of Innocence. We don't know how old she is. Anywhere between 8 and 11. This happened in 1983. You see this little bench, Garden of Innocence. I'm gonna get into the brutality of this and how brutal, what happened to this little girl. And I just want to say, it's distressing, it's sad, it's very, very difficult to hear and read, but so just so you know that this is what we're dealing with here. It was February 20th, 1983. There was two men. They were looking for a pipe to fix a go-kart, I believe, and they were in an abandoned building over on Clemens Avenue. Now, it has been demolished. There's another building in place. I'll show you what it looks like right now. And when they got inside, they discovered the body of a young African-American girl. All she had on was a yellow sweater. She was left lying on her stomach with her hands tied behind her back with nylon rope. Now, initially, police thought she was a sex worker until they moved her body and discovered that she had not developed yet, so she was young. So she was initially buried at Washington Park Cemetery, which we're going to be going to at the end of this video, because I believe the headstone that they had for her is still there, I think. We're gonna find out. But right now, there's this granite marker and all around me, and I apologize for walking where I'm walking, but all around me is these young, innocents. Destiny, Joshua, Noel, Patrick, Alexander, Angelica, so many of them. And there's something written down there that I can't quite read. Now, her name is unknown, but she should be here. Here she is. Precious Hope, age 8 to 11, 1983. Looks like another unknown name. Innocent, April 24th, 2018, September 5th, 2018, or maybe that's the name the parents gave her, Innocent. Rest in peace to all these babies, all these children, and Precious Hope. this is kind of matches. So it was concluded by the police that she, Little Precious Hope, wasn't killed at the location because no blood was found where the body was discovered. Sorry, this gentleman there is going by. He just gave me a wave and a nod. The cemetery worker helped me find what I'm looking for. And I can say that everybody that works here is very, very nice. A lot of work going on. It's a beautiful cemetery. I just want to give a shout out to that gentleman who was very, very helpful. So police determined that blood had been drained from her body elsewhere and her stomach was also empty at the time of her death. She'd been killed within 5 days of her discovery. This is brutal right now, what I'm going to tell you. I'm going to say it. This little girl had been bound at the wrist with a red nylon cord. Her head had been severed cleanly with a large blade. She was between 8 and 11 years old. She had been sexually assaulted. Only the yellow long-sleeve V-neck sweater I mentioned and 2 coats of nail polish on her fingers. One red, the other purple. Her head has never been found. Fingerprints, footprints, DNA information were successfully corrected. No distinct marks or deformities on her body. She was approximately 4 feet 10. So 10 months after her discovery, she was finally buried at Washington Park Cemetery, where we will be going next. This is where I got a little annoyed by this, but you know, I can't second guess police investigators. I'm not trained, but I thought it was weird. Her sweater was sent to a psychic in Florida who wanted to touch it to receive a psychic impression. But then the sweater was never returned and was presumed to be lost in the mail. That's a very, very important piece of evidence, and you're mailing it to a psychic. I don't understand that. I question that. There was a killer by the name of Vernon Brown. They thought maybe he did it because he killed another young girl in the area in a similar manner, but he never confessed to murdering her, and it's not known, but he's one of the suspects, and he was executed in 2005. So we're gonna go to Washington Park Cemetery because the story gets a little more in depth there. But this is where she is. I don't have pictures of her. I don't have pictures to put into this video. All we have is that. It's not cold, not too cold, but it's a drab, dreary, windy, rainy. It's raining hard right now. You can't really tell, but it's coming down. And this is a lonely little area of the cemetery. So that's one monument, or one marker, I should say, for quite a few kids. So I'm here at Washington Park Cemetery. Under a very, very difficult time. It's unlisted where the grave exactly is, or where I should say where it used to be. The gentleman, the groundskeeper, has helped me out quite a bit. His name is Henry. What a lovely man. he wasn't sure and gave me the phone number of someone to call, and I've called them. I haven't received a call back yet. I'm sure they're busy. Sure they'll get back to me. So I'm just kind of taking a look around, and it's going to be possibly another, like I went through with West Memphis, where I had to leave the city and come back. But thankfully, I think what's happening on this filming trip that I'm doing, I'm actually going to loop around and be back in St. Louis in a week. And we're right near the airport. It's very, very loud, but it'll be easy enough for me to get back here because I want to find it. And I don't want to end it like this. You know, chances are I may not hear from the gentleman, and I may have to end it like this next week if I don't find it now. But I've been walking around for quite a bit. Very, very difficult. It's a distinctive looking grave I'm looking for. Raised up a bit, tilted back. But this is the big cemetery. Yeah, pardon me. There are graves everywhere. Some have sunken in. It's an older cemetery, and I want to say that there's a lot of flowers. It's taken care of well. Henry's doing an excellent job. It gets overgrown. This happens, and it's a big job for somebody to have to do. And I'm glad that people are doing it. It's a beautiful cemetery. It's just, time marches on. So I'm still walking around a bit. Not sure where I am. It could be even back there. I didn't even notice that there's a little section back there. It's huge. I can't, to walk all the way around it, take a few hours. I can't believe I actually found her, or where her remains originally were. I've been driving around since I just recorded that quick little video. I've been driving around for 20 minutes and getting out walking, at least maybe 30 minutes. And I saw one grave and I thought, if that's not it, I'm gonna have to come back. Almost 100%, this is it. The saddened hearts were healed in knowing the pain of life is over and the beauty of the soul revealed. So it is coming down, pouring rain. We're by the airport and a very busy highway, but I hope you can hear me okay. So 2013, so 30 years after her death, her body was exhumed. Now, it kind of gets the remains were misplaced. Back then, there was negligence of the cemetery records here, and mid-June of 2013, I believe, is when they found the records. And so they watched video of the funeral to figure out exactly where they had the marker, but they couldn't find the body. And apparently she was a little to the left. Now, I think where I am right now, I think the original grave is somewhere else in the cemetery. I think they moved. It's very kind of convoluted. I think they moved this headstone here. She's no longer here, as we know. She's at Calvary Cemetery. But yeah, from what I gathered, there was 2 or 3 other bodies buried beneath, and they couldn't figure out, so they used camera techniques and watched the videotapes of the original funeral. The original funeral, only 10 people, 10, not, that's not the right number, 10, few people, medical examiners, police officers, not a lot of people were able to come out or were able to be here or showed up to her original funeral. This poor little girl. Very, very few people. But they had videotaped, the police videotaped it, and that's how they were able to figure out, I believe she was to the left, a little bit to the left of the marker. And yeah, they identified, that's, there's, not to be crass, but I mean, they were able to distinguish her from the other bodies very easily, if you know what I mean. They did samples on her bones to try to determine where she could have come from based on mineral content in her body. They decided that she probably was not actually from here. She wasn't from Missouri. She could have been from Florida, Georgia, Alabama, Mississippi, Louisiana, Arkansas, Texas, Tennessee, or north of South Carolina. Now, if you go to the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, it also says she could be from Pennsylvania, Ohio, Michigan, Minnesota, and a couple of other states. After she was exhumed here, she was reburied at Calvary Cemetery. Second funeral, many people attended. There was a deacon, there was a choir, a beautiful casket, flowers, and a proper burial for her. Say they originally found 3 bodies, and then to the left they found little Precious Hope, who now rests about, I guess, 25 minutes from here is Calvary Cemetery. With what the drive was, about 25 minutes. And yeah, there was no reports of a missing child in this area, so kind of rules out, like, there was none. Like, they don't know where she came from, how she ended up there. Nobody knows. Where are her parents, siblings, teachers? Who knows how that little girl got there? Who knows who she is? And I'm doing this video hoping that we can, or it stays in the public eye. Hopefully enough people watch this. I always hope. I don't do a lot of unsolved cases on my channel. This is one that hit me like a ton of bricks when I read the story behind it. And I will I want a name for her, and ultimately to find whoever did this unspeakable crime to this child, this little girl. Hopefully it's not too late. What are we looking at here? 42 years. Whoever did it, probably be midlife, near or senior, and they deserve to be punished. She's not here, but rest in peace, Precious Hope. Okay. It's, wow. I'd like to add 2 things. I did eventually speak to the gentleman who helps run the cemetery. His name is Dan. He was extremely helpful and extremely informative. He was actually present at the exhumation of Precious Hope's body, and he's hoping that it gets solved one day too, and he's actively working, trying to help solve the case. And he's a good man and with a lot of information. Thank you so much, Dan. Now, additional information I've come across. This is from June 2023, a social media post on Reddit. Now, the author did not publish her name, but they asked for help in finding their older sister, who was 9 years old on Valentine's Day in 1983. And the last time the author of the post said anyone remembers seeing this little girl alive was in Indiana. And they had different fathers, but the missing girl was living with her father then, and he had ties to St. Louis. So her possible name is Janetta Brooks. And the police believe that there is a great level of detail in that post. and a fair amount of information that could potentially fit with the information that they already have. The author of the post stated that they had different fathers, and their sister's father took the older sister from her maternal grandmother's house while their mother was in prison. Relatives of the missing little girl told the author the last time anyone saw her was when another sister babysat her on Valentine's Day in 1983 while her father and his new wife went on a date. The author of the post believes their missing sister was born May 15th, 1973, which would have made her 9 years old when the unidentified body in St. Louis was found. So I'm going to read some bullet points here that stand out to police. The author and their older sister went to live with their maternal grandmother after their mother went to jail in 1981. The author lived with her missing older sister for at least 2 years when the missing girl's father picked her up from her grandmother's house just after the new year in 1983. When their mother got out of prison in 1986, the missing girl's father would not let her speak or see the daughter they shared. Now, a possible name is Janetta Brooks, and I mentioned a lot of states where she could have come from, but here in this article, now that I'm reading more, it said minerals in her bones indicate she likely came from 6 states in the middle of the country, including Missouri, Illinois, and Indiana. So, police are still working. Police are still searching for who this girl is, and hopefully this is a new break, and hopefully they're going to find the person who did this. And I have used this photograph, this reconstruction, a few times in this video, but it's not accurate as far as I know. It's what the police estimate. All right, it is coming down hard. I don't know how much of that you can even hear with how loud it is here. And with this microphone attached, again, I was hoping. Otherwise, it's a voiceover. That's fine too. But I like speaking my mind when I'm at a location and able to speak. It's non-stop in St. Louis. I love this city. Thanks for watching, everybody, and rest in peace, Precious Hope. And I hope the person or persons who are responsible for this are one day apprehended and justice is served and more. This little girl deserves her name. Thanks for watching, everybody. I love you all. Peace out. Not sure what the name. Look for when you come in. Look for those. Try to go by my directions. The section is section 6. Her original grave. The entrance is right there. So you're gonna come in the entrance, make a left, go to section 6, drive around. See there. Turn right up that hill, up the hill just a little bit. Look to your right. That's just up beyond those trees. And I'm sorry if I'm yelling. You cannot. If you look at the picture of the grave, it's online or on my video if you want to see for a reference point, and you will look to your right. So section 6, Washington Park Cemetery, turn right, and then around there. Okay. Wow.